What is up, YouTube? What is up, family? We have another request. I love this kind of stuff. This is what happens when water gets out of control. I assume like natural disasters, when water gets out of control, or maybe even man-made disasters. Yeah, water is well, you know what they say. Water is probably the most powerful disaster. Well, because you cannot stop it. You just straight up can't stop it. Not that I don't know if you could stop a tornado, hurricane, or earthquake, all the other crap that goes on. Right? You can't really stop those either. But I know for a fact, water's coming your way. You better get your rowboat, because there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. And I assume that's what we're gonna be looking at here. That's like.
Water. It's something we use every day without a...
What the hell kind of wave?
Water.
Where the hell is this? That's,
It's something we use every day without a second thought. But what happens when water reveals its true power? Today, we'll witness moments where water becomes a force of destruction. Imagine entire towns vanishing under floodwaters within hours, or a tsunami that devastates everything in its path.
Oh, I remember this. This was amazing. Yeah, poor Japan. Oh, they got demolished. That was insane, this right here.
Picture a dam so powerful it could flood an area the size of New York City in just one day. These aren't just natural disasters. They're reminders of water's unstoppable force. Ready to explore what happens when water gets out of control.
I'm gonna like this video.
Look at that rainbow. Ooh.
Look at the rainbow. That's what you concentrating on, the rainbow?
Gnarly
really?
Nazaré. At first glance, Nazaré, located on the west coast of Portugal, appears to be your typical sunny beach, complete with sandy shores and calm waters during the summer months. However, from October to March, when the winds pick up, this place undergoes a dramatic transformation. Just off the coast lies the largest underwater canyon in Europe, plunging over 2.5 miles deep and extending 130 miles long. This remarkable depth allows the waves to travel at incredible speeds, reaching the shore with minimal energy dissipation, resulting in some truly massive waves. How massive, you ask?
Oh, come on. Hell no, that's fake. That's fake as hell.
Well, the largest wave ever surfed was caught here by Sebastian Stutner, who rode an astonishing 86-foot wave. To put that in perspective, that's nearly the height of Christ the Redeemer. In fact, 7 of the 10 largest waves ever surfed have been in Nazaré. While that might sound thrilling for surfers, I definitely advise against it. A section of any given wave measuring 30 cubic feet.
What the Oh my God, that's a wave.
Weighs roughly 1 ton. So if you were to wipe out on a wave taller than 80 feet...
Seriously, what the hell? I've never seen a wave like that. That's the kind of shit you see in the movies.
With a lip about 200 feet...
Oh, how could they stop that shot?
So if you were to wipe out...
I want to see the wave crash.
On a wave taller than 80 feet with a lip about 200 feet long, that section of the wave alone would weigh around 1,200 tons crashing down on you. Forget just wiping out. It would feel more like getting pancaked.
Yeah.
Damn.
And there's some crazy people surfing that.
Damn powerful.
Damn
While
powerful.
Uncontrolled water spilling from a dam can be frightening, let's take a look at what it looks like when things are under control. Consider the Colorado River, which stretches 1,450 miles and provides drinking water for 40 million people in Mexico and the southwestern U.S. Each year, An astonishing 1.9 trillion gallons of water are consumed from this river. If you could turn that volume into a cube, it would stand over 7 kilometers tall. The Glen Canyon Dam plays a crucial role in managing this water supply. Standing at 710 feet high, it
That's
creates the
massive.
artificial Lake Powell and has a water storage capacity of more than 25 million acre-feet, which is about 1.95 trillion cubic feet.
I got it. You know, I didn't understand until he said 1 trillion cubic feet, and then now I'm like, oh, I could picture how.
This makes it the second largest artificial lake in the United States, but not all the water stays in the lake.
That
It may
is
look like
massive.
the dam has been breached, but it's actually part of a planned event called the High Flow Experiment. In April 2023, the dam released 39,500 cubic feet of water per second for 72 hours straight, totaling over 10 billion cubic feet of water.
Wow.
This carefully controlled release helps manage the river's ecosystem while ensuring a steady water supply for millions of people. The incredible force generated by large surges of water, like those released from the Glen Canyon Dam, is intentionally harnessed to move sand stored in the river channel. This process helps to redeposit sand and rebuild eroded sandbars and beaches downstream. So, just how much water are we talking about?
That's
To put it in
amazing.
perspective, the average American household uses about 40 cubic feet of water each day. That means just 1 second of the Glen Canyon's water release could supply an average household's water needs for nearly 3 years. That's truly
What? Did he just say releasing this for 1 second could feed a home for 3 years?
release could supply an each day. That means just 1 second of the Glen Canyon's water release could supply an average household's water needs for nearly 3 years. That's truly impressive. Talk
yeah.
about the power of water.
Jeez.
Ferocious flood. Unfortunately, the historical use of water's power hasn't always had positive outcomes.
Yeah.
And one of the darkest examples occurred in China in 1938. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, which was fought between the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan, the Japanese army was advancing rapidly, reaching deep into the heart of China, including the city of Zhengzhou. It looked like all hope was lost for the Chinese forces. However, unexpectedly, the Yellow River unleashed a devastating flood, throwing the Japanese army into disarray. This sudden surge of water changed the course of events, highlighting how harnessing water's power can have both beneficial and catastrophic consequences. The Chinese people may have initially viewed the sudden flooding of the Yellow River as a miracle, especially in June when rainfall is typically low. However, this was no divine intervention. It was a desperate decision made by the Chinese government to
I was gonna say that wasn't no natural event.
deliberately breach the river's embankments in an effort to halt the Japanese offensive.
It's actually brilliant.
First, this strategy seemed brilliant, successfully preventing the Japanese army from advancing westward. However, the flood came with a devastating cost.
Not too brilliant after all, huh?
An area of 21,000 square miles, roughly the size of West Virginia, was submerged.
Oh my
Tragically, as many as 800,000 civilians lost their lives due to the flooding and the resulting famines and diseases,
Okay, so that was actually a really stupid idea.
leaving around 4 million people homeless. Unfortunately, the military benefits of this drastic action were short-lived, as the Japanese quickly adapted their strategy and went on to capture the city of Wuhan shortly after. The aftermath of the flood was profound, with the Yellow River taking nearly 9 years to return to its original course after the embankments were destroyed, not stabilizing until 1947. Today, the once destructive power of the Yellow River is effectively managed. While it may look chaotic in this image, what you're seeing is actually part of a process called sand washing. This operation is designed to clear sediment buildup in the river. Each year, silt settles on the riverbed, causing water levels to rise and slowing down the muddy waters in the lower parts of the river. To keep the water levels in check, the Xiaolangdi Dam flushes out sand-laden water through 3 specialized channels. You definitely wouldn't want to get in the way of that powerful flow, as it's discharged at an incredible rate of 9,200 cubic feet per second. thanks to this massive outflow, the sand washing operation removes an astonishing 33 million tons of sediment, equivalent to just under 6 Great Pyramids of Giza, within just 20 days. The sheer scale of this operation is so impressive that it has become a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
So, if you ever plan to visit the sand washing at Xiaolangdi Dam, be sure to bring an umbrella.
Wow.
Wicked Waterfall. Just over 100 miles north of the Xiaolangdi Dam lies Huku Waterfall, the second largest waterfall in China. While waterfalls are often viewed as calm, tranquil places where people gather to unwind and connect with nature, Huku is a whole different story. This isn't a place where you'll hear gentle trickling or see peaceful cascades. Here the Yellow River shows off its raw power in full force. As the mighty Yellow River approaches Huku, it's squeezed tightly between towering mountains on either side, creating a bottleneck effect. After traveling thousands of miles across the Chinese landscape, this vast river, normally nearly 1,000 feet wide, suddenly narrows to just 165 feet. Imagine all that water forced through such a tight space. It's as if the river is getting wrung out. This dramatic constriction causes the water to surge and accelerate, racing toward the edge with astonishing power before hurtling down into the gorge below. The sound alone is overwhelming, a deafening roar that warns anyone nearby to keep their distance. In 2022, Huku Waterfall experienced severe flooding, making this already intimidating waterfall even more formidable. During this flood, water cascaded over the edge at an incredible rate of around 160,000 cubic feet per second. To put that into perspective, that's 60% more water than what flows over Niagara Falls every second.
Yeah, okay. I got you. That was a good perspective. I got you.
And Niagara is 24 times wider. Visualize the
Wow.
sheer volume of water plunging over Huku. It's like an endless tidal wave crashing down with unstoppable force, making this waterfall a true testament to nature's uncontainable energy. And if that's not enough to make your heart race, consider the fact that the only thing standing between you and this surging waterfall is a narrow, flimsy-looking fence. One misstep or a strong gust, and it feels like you could be pulled into the water's grasp. Huku Waterfall is awe-inspiring and beautiful in its own way, but for thrill seekers and casual tourists alike, it's a humbling reminder of just how small we are compared to nature's power.
Oh yeah, we're nothing. We're a little ant.
If you're brave enough to stand so close, it's an experience you'll never forget. But personally, I think Huku Waterfall might be best appreciated from a safe distance. Gruesome Gorge. Nearly 900 miles southwest of Huku Waterfall, you'll discover another remarkable site in China, Tiger Leaping Gorge. This stunning canyon sits on the Jinsha River, a major tributary of the Yangtze River. While many riverside locations are known for their beauty and tranquility,
That is
Tiger Leaping
power.
Gorge is anything but relaxing. With a maximum depth of around 12,500 feet from the mountain peaks to the river, this canyon is dauntingly deep, twice as deep as the Grand Canyon. The gorge's steep slopes and narrow channels cause the water to flow at incredibly high speeds, making this one of the most dangerous sections of the Yangtze River. The power and intensity of the rushing water here create a dramatic and awe-inspiring landscape, proving that nature can be both beautiful and treacherous. But
You would think after a period of time, everything that's holding these people in place would be eroded away. You know what I mean? The bottom portion of the roaring rapids would eventually just kind of like little by little tear away at its base, and this would fall in the water, you would think. Am I explaining that properly? Do you know what I mean? Did the lights just get dimmer? I don't. This is insane, seriously. All in China. They got some powerful stuff in China, I guess, with water.
But just how dangerous is Tiger Leaping Gorge? The average flow rate here is an astonishing 275,000 cubic feet per second. Considering that this section of the river narrows to just 100 feet at its tightest point,
Look at that.
that's an overwhelming amount of
How are
water.
those people
To put
set-
it into perspective, that flow rate could fill 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools in just 1 second. Surprisingly, some adventurous souls thought that didn't sound dangerous enough. Back in 1986, a team of rafters attempted to navigate this treacherous stretch of river.
There's always one dummy who thinks he's gonna impress his friends. Guess what I did? I bet you he's not around no more.
Can you guess what happened?
He died. He died it.
Unfortunately, 11 of them never made it out of the gorge. Who would have thought that taking on the force of 3 Olympic swimming pools of water per second was a risky idea? I think we might have some new contenders for the Darwin Awards here.
You'd be...
Coastal collisions.
Oh.
In late August 2018, something ominous was developing off the southern coast of Japan in the northwestern Pacific. Typhoon Jebi was forming. Typhoons are essentially hurricanes that develop over the warm waters of the northwest Pacific Ocean. When winds blow into these warm areas, they gather moisture and rise, allowing colder air to flow in beneath. This process creates pressure, which causes the winds to rotate rapidly around a central point known as the eye of the storm. As the storm intensifies, it can lead to devastating impacts on the surrounding regions.
Alexa, computer room on. Fucking idiot. Dumb fuck.
Storm intensifies, it can lead to devastating impacts on the surrounding regions. As Typhoon Jebi moved across...
Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is just unexplainable. If you just sit here and watch this video, this right here, you'll be like, you will understand the power.
Across the ocean, its powerful winds stirred up massive waves emanating from the storm's center.
See, I didn't hear that. I heard an earthquake caused it.
For a storm to be classified as a typhoon, its wind speeds must reach at least 74 miles per hour. Typhoon Jebi certainly met that threshold. When it made landfall in southeastern Japan, it unleashed winds exceeding 130 miles per hour. These fierce winds generated colossal waves that battered the southeastern coastline. The strength of the storm was so immense that it pushed waves back up the mouths of coastal rivers, sweeping away many small boats in the process. While that may have looked terrifying, it was nothing compared to the waves crashing along the coast itself. Judging by the tiny size of those boats, it wouldn't be surprising if some of those waves reached heights of over 100 feet. Yikes! But it wasn't just boats that experienced the sheer force of Typhoon Jebi. Along with the powerful waves battering the coastline, Japan experienced heavy rainfall that completely inundated Kansai International Airport. What you see here isn't part of a harbor, that's an aircraft apron. The damage was so extensive that the airport had to remain closed for 17 days. However, this event pales in comparison to what Japan faced back in 2011. In March of that year, the country was struck by a magnitude 9 earthquake.
This is what I was talking about. This is just...
the strongest in its history, located beneath the North Pacific, about 80 miles east of Sendai in northeastern Japan. The energy released from the earthquake caused significant vertical movements along the fault line, displacing enormous volumes of water. This resulted in tsunami waves that reached horrifying heights of 127 feet, pushing as far as 9 miles inland from the rivers. The devastation was immense. Approximately 123,000 homes were destroyed. Nearly a million more were damaged, and tragically, close to 20,000 people lost their lives. The estimated cost of the earthquake and tsunami was a staggering $220 billion, making it the costliest natural disaster in history.
Wow.
Manic mud flow. As we've seen...
I've seen this too. I've seen this. This is crazy too.
A tidal wave of water can be terrifying on its own, but when you mix that water with mud, the situation becomes even more perilous. Let's take a closer look. A mud flow is essentially a rush of water mixed with debris and dirt, typically occurring when heavy rain erodes earth on a steep slope. It's one of nature's most aggressive and unpredictable landslides, sweeping up everything in its path. In 2018, Switzerland experienced a significant mud flow when melting hail in the mountains displaced large amounts of mud. This wasn't just an ordinary flow. Imagine water so thick with dirt and rocks that it's transformed into a powerful, fast-moving liquid earth. The mixture, more akin to cement than water, races downhill with unstoppable force, reaching speeds exceeding 50 miles per hour. Thank goodness for storm drains to help divert the force, or else the destruction could have been far worse. But even the best drains couldn't have saved Bardonecchia, a town in northern Italy that in 2023 faced one of the most terrifying mudslides in recent history. A tsunami-like mudslide tore through the area, with walls of thick, murky mud and debris racing toward the town. Imagine seeing this massive, muddy wave barreling toward you, knowing there's nowhere to run. Residents had mere moments to flee, with many narrowly escaping nature's wrath. Although fortunately no lives were lost, the aftermath served as a chilling reminder of how suddenly a mud flow can strike.
How the hell do you even begin to clean that up? My God.
And how destructive it can be when it does. These aren't just landslides, they're forces of nature that turn entire towns into liquid chaos. Sinister shore breaks. Nazare isn't the only spot famous for its massive waves. Oahu in Hawaii has gained a notorious reputation for its intense shorebreak waves. If you're unfamiliar, a shorebreak occurs when waves approach a steep shoreline, causing them to crash directly onto the shore with barely any chance for the wave to curl or break further out. This sudden impact creates waves that can surprise even experienced swimmers, slamming them down before they even realize what's happened. What's even more dangerous is that shore breaks can be deceptively small, yet incredibly powerful. Sometimes a wave that's only a foot tall looks harmless, lulling beachgoers into a false sense of safety. But that 1 foot wave can generate enough force to knock even a strong swimmer off balance and pin them down in the sand. Add in sharp rocks and spiky coral hidden beneath the surf, and suddenly that innocent-looking wave becomes a serious hazard. Many visitors to these shore breaks are unsuspecting, drawn in by the beauty of the beach without realizing the dangers lying just beyond the sand. If you've ever seen someone get tossed like a rag doll by these waves, you know it's no joke. While some adrenaline junkies might see this as a challenge, for most, shore breaks are better admired from a safe distance. Raging whirlpools. When you think of whirlpools,
that's sick. I've never seen this.
What comes to mind? Perhaps you envision something like the one spotted in Springdale, Utah in 2021, formed after flash flooding overwhelmed an area drain. This impressive whirlpool was just a result of nature's forces at play. Or maybe you picture a colossal vortex in the ocean, large enough to swallow ships whole. Surprisingly, both scenarios are very real. Whirlpools can vary greatly in shape and size, depending on the opposing currents or water flows running into obstacles. These interactions can redirect powerful streams of water, sometimes resulting in a downward vortex. Whether in a small stream or the open ocean, whirlpools showcase the incredible and sometimes frightening power of water. Open ocean whirlpools can be unpredictable and tricky to capture on camera, but if you venture up to Norway, specifically off the coast of Bodo, you'll encounter the Saltstraumen. This remarkable location is known as the strongest maelstrom, a type of whirlpool in a sea or river in the world. The Saltstraumen forms 4 times a day as the tide forces up to 110 billion gallons of seawater through a narrow, 490-foot wide strait. When the current reaches its peak, it can reach an astonishing speed of up to 25 miles per hour. This surge of water creates whirlpools that can be as large as 33 feet in diameter and 16 feet deep. Such fierce conditions have sparked local mythology, with Norwegians believing that maelstroms like this one are the home of the legendary Kraken, known for dragging ships to their watery graves. However, the dangers of the Saltstraumen extend beyond folklore. In 2019, the 220-foot-long Norwegian ship Nidaro ran aground while attempting to navigate through the maelstrom. There are even whispers that around 60 swimmers and divers have lost their lives.
Oh, I was thinking of that. Like, absolutely. You could be Phelps. You know what that is, right? You could be Phelps, and you're dead. You're dead in 3 seconds. This is like the power of a human. Like we're just before in the video, we're nothing but like a little ant in this planet, and this would swallow the very best swimmer. I mean, without even a thought. You'd have to be absolutely first of all, if you're getting sucked in right around here, you're already dead. Right? If you're a swimmer and you're here, or even here you're probably good. You're probably safe here for now. But if you're here, you're dead. You're dead. You're probably thinking, oh, it's all right. It's all the way over here. I'm over here. No, you're getting sucked right in. Oh, without a doubt. But I can't believe that just straight up in the middle of the ocean, this could happen.
In these turbulent waters,
That's
though there's no official record to back that up. So if you ever
no official records. Well, because they just disappeared.
find yourself near the Saltstraumen, trust me, there's no way you should attempt to swim across it.
Hell no.
Watery whirlwind. Life-threatening vortexes aren't just found in the depths of the water, they can also manifest above it. Just look at this imposing funnel. It's a
I've seen
water
that.
spout, an intense column of rapidly rotating air and water. There are two main types of water spouts. The first is the fair weather water spout, which is more common and generally less dangerous. These typically form during relatively calm weather conditions, along long, flat bases of developing storm clouds. Here, air starts to circulate along the surface of the water, gradually developing upwards into a swirling column. While they can still be intimidating, fair weather water spouts pose less of a threat than their more violent counterparts. But the real trouble comes from tornadic water spouts,
Yeah, that one
the
looks
ones
huge.
you really need to watch out for.
Yeah.
These originate as true tornadoes on land before moving out over water. On average, tornadic waterspouts can travel at speeds of around 50 miles per hour, but some have been recorded at over 100 miles per hour.
Mother Nature's insane, isn't she? Mother Nature is really something that y'all need to respect her. You know what I mean?
It's no surprise that a
Because-
vortex of air and water moving that fast can be extremely dangerous.
This is wild.
Historically, in 1556, a waterspout struck the Grand Harbor of Malta, tragically sinking ships and sending 600 people to the bottom of the ocean. Even today, these powerful phenomena can cause havoc. For instance, anyone caught near a waterspout while relaxing on the beach might find themselves in for a wild ride, like these unfortunate beachgoers did in 2022 when their umbrellas became airborne. Thankfully, no one was hurt, well, except for that table.
What table?
Even further inland,
Did you see a table? What table? No, I didn't see no table.
waterspouts can unleash terrifying power, as shown by those who've witnessed them up close. So if you see a waterspout on the horizon, don't just walk away, run.
Oh no, what we'll do is we'll stop, grab our phone, and try to videotape it so we can put it on TikTok. That's way more important.
Perilous pipes.
What?
It's amazing how we often take for granted the complex systems that deliver clean water to our homes.
See, I love stuff like this. This is cool. Okay.
Water mains
Talk
are
to me.
essential for
Talk to me.
transporting water from storage tanks to our faucets, usually without any issues. However, when a crack occurs in the water main, the high pressure can force water to erupt through the ground, creating impressive geysers. These bursts can be quite dramatic, as you mentioned, and they serve as a powerful reminder of the immense pressure and force behind the water supply system. It's crucial for local authorities to address these leaks quickly to prevent significant flooding and damage to infrastructure. This makes you appreciate every sip of water even more. That Cincinnati water main break sounds incredible. A 20-foot geyser must have looked both fascinating and alarming. It's wild how something as routine as a water main can turn into such a dramatic event. When leaks like that aren't addressed promptly, they can wreak havoc on the surrounding area, leading to road damage, flooding, and even impacting local utilities. It's a good reminder of the power of water and how crucial it is to maintain our infrastructure. Next time you turn on your faucet, you might just remember
We don't maintain nothing. We wait till it breaks.
that hidden power beneath your feet. Have you seen any other impressive water-related incidents? Wretched River. The Strid is indeed a notorious spot. That dramatic narrowing of the river wharf creates powerful currents that can be incredibly dangerous. Even if the water looks inviting, the swift flow can easily sweep away an unsuspecting swimmer. The
Sure.
combination of strong currents, hidden rocks, and the depth of the water makes it a treacherous place. Despite its beauty, it's often referred to as a killer river because of the tragic incidents that have occurred there. The local folklore and warnings emphasize the danger, reminding visitors
And why would you want to swim in that? I mean, let's just take a look at what we're looking at here. What makes you say, I'm gonna take my clothes off and jump in there? I mean, seriously, some people, come on. Some people's, come on, man. You gotta have something up here, a little bit, just some common sense, a little bit, not just a tiny bit.
That have occurred there. The local folklore and warnings emphasize the danger, reminding visitors
Obviously.
that what looks serene can quickly become life-threatening. Have you ever come across other places that seem safe but are actually
why would you
quite
swim in
perilous?
that?
That's incredibly deep, especially for such a narrow stretch of river. The combination of the intense current and the hidden depths beneath the surface
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
the Strid extremely hazardous.
out of your mind.
Sonar technology can reveal just how deceptive these waterways can be. Many people might not realize that even a seemingly tranquil spot can harbor dangerous underwater features. The fact that it can plunge over 210 feet deep within such a short distance is a stark reminder of how quickly the environment can change in water bodies. It's fascinating, but also frightening how nature can conceal such dangers. Have you heard of any other locations where water bodies hide unexpected depths or hazards? Absolutely. The saying, "never judge a river by its cover," perfectly captures the deceptive nature of waterways like the Strid. While it may look calm and inviting, the hidden dangers beneath the surface can be fatal. The rapid narrowing and significant depth create powerful currents that can easily sweep anyone off their feet, leading to tragic outcomes. The tales and local lore surrounding the Strid add to its mystique, but they also serve as cautionary reminders of the river's perilous nature. It's fascinating how rivers can embody such beauty and danger at the same time. Do you have any other stories about rivers or bodies of water with similarly deceptive characteristics?
No, see, my friends, they're not stupid enough to jump in water like this. So, no, I don't have a story.
Whopping waves. Have you ever encountered the phenomenon of rogue waves? These
Love
massive
that.
waves seemingly arise out of nowhere, believed to result from a complex interplay of several waves converging. They can reach heights exceeding twice that of surrounding waves, packing incredible power. In fact, rogue waves have been known to sink supertankers and container ships, leaving some vessels to return to shore with significant damage, including large holes in their hulls. Well, the personnel at a U.S. Army base on Roy Namur Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean certainly had a startling experience when a 15-foot-high rogue wave surged inland, crashing through a building and snapping the door off its hinges. Fortunately, no one was injured, but judging by the way those waves wrecked the doors, there must have been quite a mess to clean up the following morning. Meanwhile, thousands of miles northwest in Arenzano, Italy, a fierce storm created its own chaos. Staff at a seaside restaurant faced an unexpected challenge when a colossal 20-foot rogue wave struck. Thankfully, everyone was safe. But despite their best efforts, that glass didn't stand a chance against the force of nature. The takeaway? Dining at a seaside restaurant during a storm might not be the best idea.
Why didn't they show the footage?
Dam disaster. Dams are essentially walls built to block the flow of surface water. They can generate electricity, manage water supply, and help prevent flooding. However, the situation can get complicated. Take the Brumadinho Dam at the Corrego do Feijão iron ore mine in Brazil.
Oh, I heard about this. I saw this, actually. This is insane. First of all, I don't even understand how this works. Where's the dam? Where's the water? It's like under the grass. You don't believe me?
For example. This dam was a tailings dam, which means it stored leftover materials from mining, like polluted water and chemicals. In January 2019, the dam lost strength and became too steep and wet to hold itself up. Then one day, it
Look at that.
collapsed. When it fell, it released a toxic wave of over 420 million cubic feet of water and sludge. To put that into perspective, if you hollowed out the Empire State Building, you could fill it more than 11 times with that amount. The flood
What?
swept through the nearby valley, burying some areas under 50 feet of sludge and tragically claiming the lives of 270 people.
Oh, God.
Sadly, Brumadinho isn't the only dam failure.
And I heard they knew that dam needed big time maintenance. But as usual, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, that's the mentality, because it costs too much. So it's easier to just go, let's just wait a little longer. Does it really need to be fixed? Like, you know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it needed to be fixed. It's a shame.
Just over a year later, in May 2020, heavy rains in Michigan
I remember seeing this too.
put immense pressure on the Edenville Dam, which stood 54 feet tall. It couldn't hold back the enormous 21.5 billion gallons of water from Wixom Lake, and it collapsed.
Yep.
That's enough water to supply New York City for over 20 days. Within just 24 hours, the reservoir was almost empty, but the flooding continued. About 10 miles downstream, the water overflowed the 36-foot-tall Sanford Dam as well. In just a few hours, a relentless flow of water flooded the entire surrounding area. More than 10,000 residents had to evacuate as the water tore buildings from their foundations, destroyed roads and bridges, and obliterated over 2,500 properties. The damage...
Yeah, this is it. This is it right here. This was crazy.
Foundations, destroyed roads and bridges, and obliterated over 2,500 properties. The damage amounted to an astounding $175 million. Unfortunately, the U.S. has seen its fair share of dam failures. Take California's Oroville Dam, for example. Standing at 770 feet, it's the tallest dam in the country. However, during the winter of 2016 to 2017, it faced challenges it couldn't handle. That rainy season was the wettest Northern California had seen in over a century, with a staggering 89.7 inches of rain falling between October and April. In February, to manage the rising water levels and prevent the reservoir from overflowing, the dam's 3,000-foot-long and 179-foot-wide spillway was opened. However, the rain kept pouring down. A few weeks later, water was rushing down the spillway at an incredible rate of 50,000 cubic feet per second.
I remember this. Unbelievable.
To put that into perspective, that amount of water could fill the largest aquarium tank in the world, located in the Chimelong spaceship in China, in just 12 seconds. You might think such massive volumes of water would damage the floodgates, but surprisingly, they held up fine. The problem arose with the concrete spillway, which was only 15 inches thick at its thinnest point. The intense pressure caused significant erosion, leading the operators to use a second emergency spillway for the first time since the dam was built in 1968. Unfortunately, the overwhelming flow of water quickly eroded this spillway as well. Eventually, the rain stopped, but by that time, 188,000 people had already been evacuated. The sheer force of the water resulted in repair costs for Oroville Dam totaling a staggering $1.1 billion. That's billion with a B. Oroville. More like Horoville. And that's a wrap on our video.
Yeah.
We've seen how this essential element can be both powerful and destructive, whether we're harnessing it for energy or simply managing its flow.
Again with that doll.
Water is a force that can't be ignored. So
he just said it.
So next time you see a river or ocean, remember it's more than just a source of life. It's a powerful force of nature.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.
Yeah. So the bottom line of this video, don't F with water. Don't F with it. Just do not F with it. Because it will eat you up. It will eat everything. You, your house, your city, your village, your town, everything. Take no prisoners. No prisoners. See, this is what I mean. Water can swallow, what do you say, the size of Virginia? Or is it, he literally, in China, during that war, when they released that dam, basically released enough water to flood out, like, the state of Virginia, or something like that, he said. I mean, just think about that. See, like, a tornado could, like, go through an area, but its path will get destroyed, where water will just spread out and take everything out. Same with, like, a hurricane, right? It'll just go through, damage what it's got to damage, and then keep going. Water will just hang out for, like, another month. Why'd they say 7 years before everything became normal again? Like, don't mess with water. Some of those tidal waves, though. But, man, nothing compares to that tsunami in Japan. Whoo, boy. I know you guys check those videos out. Because it was, like, not even believable. It's like, it just rised so slowly And then as soon as it started going overboard, that's when you realize, holy crap, there's power there. Because it looked calm, and it rose, and then it tipped over. And then before you know it, there's little, like, cruise ships getting swept away, cars, houses, like, you name it, it's gone. But you didn't even, like, see a single wave. You just saw the sea level rise. Once again, don't F with water. Anyway, cool video, really cool video. Yeah, this is what happens when water gets out of control. Yeah, there's no stopping it. It's probably, for me, in my opinion, it's the most powerful thing that Mother Nature has. And when it's out of control, it's the most disastrous, without a doubt. This doll's killing me. We gotta go. We gotta go with this doll. I mean, what is this doll doing? Seriously, what's about to happen? Somebody in the comments put a $50,000 doll like this is still cheaper than a divorce. All right, anyway, let's get out of here. This is what happens when water gets out of control. You saw it, right? You paid attention? Yeah, okay. Take care. Peace out. Have a good night.